Welcome to Center Court with the Lopes. Barry Butel alongside the head coach at GCU men's basketball, Bryce Drew. And Coach, your WAC conference play got started. It was about 17 days between games. What did you think when you had your team on the court, and how they responded against Tarleton?
I mean, it felt weird.
Yeah, right?
It felt very strange after being off from games, being off from practices, and then just stepping out and playing, a conference game, which is your most important game of the year up to that point. So it was definitely a different feeling, and I was really proud of the guys. But it was definitely, these are uncharted waters, like we talked about beginning of the year. I mean, and a lot of coaches were out, and so I was out. I'd only practiced basically 3 hours with the guys in the previous 16 days. So it was a totally new experience for all of us.
Well, I guess you got to give a lot of credit to your team. I mean, they responded. They played very well. You come back with 2 victories. What can you say about your team and how they performed against the Texans?
Very proud. I think that's a great word to say. We did not get a lot of practice time. A lot of our coaches, all 4 of our assistants were out for periods leading up to that game, and they did a really good job staying in shape, staying in the gym. And then after a long travel to Texas, I thought did a really good job coming out and giving a max effort. And when you play in conference, as you know, 1 or 2 possessions mean a lot and can really dictate which way the game go. And our guys did a really good job, I thought, in the second half, getting loose balls, getting rebounds, made winning plays.
Talk about one player in particular that certainly in game number 1 with 19 points, Asborn Midgard. He came out on fire and played really well in game 1. He almost had a double-double. He had that double-double in game 2. He had 9 rebounds in game 1.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah.
He made some moves in that game that we haven't seen him, make throughout the year. One play in particular, he caught on a fast break at the free throw line and took a dribble, and I was thinking, oh no, like charge is coming, and he did a tremendous job going around the charge and making a layup. And for 7 feet, 270 to be able to move like that, I think our whole bench and staff was pretty impressed on it.
In game 2, you went on that 13-0 run that kind of helped a lot, kind of differentiate yourself from, but a tight game nonetheless. Oscar Freyer, 4 3-pointers. Great to see the 12 points from him from long distance as well. Looking to add a spark as well from Oscar. That's great to see.
Yeah, what we're going to do now is we're going to add his dunks to his threes. So very rarely does he make more threes than different dunks that he has, but he shot the ball really well, and he's been coming on in practice, in games. He's been around the verge of breaking out, and I see that as a breakout game for him, where he shot with a lot of confidence. He made big shots. He made a big shot the night before in the game, and we're going to need him all year, especially as they collapse on Asbjorn and Alessandro in the post. We need guys to step up and make jump shots, and every one of his 3-pointers are really important for us.
A lot of assists in game 1, not so much in game 2. Did you sense that maybe the back-to-back scenario, how did you feel like your team would respond with that back-to-back scenario that we're going to be seeing in conference play? And you had 15 turnovers in that second game too. If you nitpick after 2, what's your impressions after the back-to-back and how you're going to get your team ready to go in those back ends?
Yeah, it's really challenging. Like, I didn't really think going into it it'd be as big as a deal as it was, but after you play such an emotional game, and then you go to bed and you wake up and you're like, holy cow, it's like we just had this emotional game. Now we got to turn around and play the exact same team, the same style, and it's definitely challenging. And you look across the country and there's really no rhyme or reason to scores and what things are happening. One team won by 30 on Friday, and then they turn around, they lose on Saturday. The same team, the same court, the same game, and it's just, again, it's so different and so new. I think some of the turnovers, again, they did a really good job collapsing, and we didn't do as good a job passing as we could. And usually you get some days in between you can work on different things, and now you just don't get that. So, it's going to be a challenge, I think, all year. Not for us, everybody's in the same boat, and really trying to adapt to this new format.
What a cool moment post-game to tune in and listen to Scott and yourself on the post-game show. what was that like? I mean, he drove after a win at TCU, and he drove over to take in your game. That's got to be great. It's great to see a brother support another.
For myself, it was very special to have him. Like you said, he just played that afternoon, up at TCU and rented a car and came down to watch the game. And so, when you win, you got to celebrate. So, he was a little reluctant. But I was like, you got to come in the locker room and see the guys and come on the radio. So it was a great time. We were able to sit around a little bit after and talk and catch up. And with COVID, it's been hard. Obviously, I haven't seen him in quite a while, so it was nice just to see him and catch up a little bit.
Coming up, with the non-conference season in the past, we catch up with Molly Miller on what she's learned about her squad leading into conference play.
It's time to get away. It's time to escape. It's a new day to play. Your retreat awaits at Talking Stick Resort. Indulge your appetite for excitement with our thrilling table games, our electrifying slots, our outstanding restaurants, and our exceptional accommodations. It's all waiting for you. It's a new day to play at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
I'm personal injury attorney James Bergener. Accidents can happen. If something happens to you or your family, call me. My firm and I will take you by the hand and guide you through everything. You see, personal injuries are just that. They're personal. You're not a number. You're more than just a name. This is your life. At my firm, each case is professionally and personally tailored to you. So if you've been injured, I've got your back. Call me now for a free consultation.
About time you washed it.
Getting ready to trade it in. What are you doing?
Just a little shopping. Wait, a new truck. Don't you think I should be involved?
Of course. We'll head over to Sanderson Ford as soon as I'm done.
I don't have time today. Hope we're going with 4 doors this time.
Ooh, of course. I know exactly what I want. We want. A lightning blue Ford F-150 Super Crew with EcoBoost.
All done.
Shop from home, buy from home, we deliver. From the dealer you can trust, Sanderson Ford.
Center Court with the Lopes is presented by Talking Stick Resort. Play in style. And also brought to you by Cox Business.
Calm, cool, and collected. The win over LMU offers Scott. She'll drive inside, and the little scoop shot is perfect. Side picked up by Moran. Here's Scott. Starts to spin. Move in the lane. Scoop it up and get it. Doesn't want the shot. Give it to Pieta, who will for 3. Won't go. Scott fights for the rebound. Takes it away from 2 6-footers and scores.
Welcome back to Center Court with the Lopes. Barry Butel alongside the head coach of GCU women's basketball, Molly Miller. And Coach, you were all set to begin WAC conference play, and Tarleton calls and COVID issues prevented them from coming to GCU Arena. How did that impact your team?
We had kind of dodged the postpone, cancellation, COVID bullet a little bit, but it finally caught up with us. We were really anxious and excited, obviously, to start conference play. It kind of feels like a new season, a new start. There's kind of new energy in the air. What I was really proud of, though, was my team, and I felt like, we could come in here and it could go 2 ways. We could kind of tuck our tails and be disappointed, or we still had the opportunity to practice. It didn't affect us. Our game was canceled, but we could still come in here and get better, and our practices were really good. So I almost felt like, hey, we did start conference. We just didn't tip the ball up against someone else, but this team had the energy of a conference season. So although we would have loved to play, we were very grateful that we still got to practice and play basketball.
You mentioned the word energy, and man, your team has showed a lot of energy. 8-1 going into conference play, and a very, very, very tight loss against Southern Utah. What have you seen from your team after these 9 games?
I think they're having fun.
Yeah.
I think finally they get all the work that's been put in, and when you put that much work in and effort in, you really get good results, and they're kind of vibing off of that, which is great to see. So the buy-in, the culture piece, the brand, it's all kind of coming together and lending itself to some success. So I think they, they're learning how to handle that success. And for us, we want to work harder and be better and go through game film and nitpick a little bit and be coachable. And they're doing those things because it doesn't get easier from here, obviously. I think the WAC has improved the competition, and we're seeing some schools, CBU, they're unscathed right now.
Right.
So we're going to play some good teams in the WAC, and we know that, and we have to prepare and still have that mindset of almost, like I said, a new season. We're 0-0 right now, so whatever happened in the non-conference, we got to move forward.
But you've even said, I know in some post-game press conference recently, you talked about the 180-degree turn for the returners of basketball, this brand of basketball, and to have the success that you've had here, 8-1 to begin your tenure here at GCU. How is that instilled? I mean, kudos to your staff. Obviously, some wins obviously build some confidence, but where did you see it really kind of click for your team?
I mean, you have to give a lot of credit to these kids who just kind of let us coach them, let us introduce kind of a brand that was a little bit foreign to them. So there's probably some frustrations along the way. Like, I'm used to sitting back in the gap and paint protecting, and I'm like, I want you to get out in the passing lane though. So to kind of flip that mindset and then trust the process. They say it so much, but these kids have really trusted us, and it's done a great thing for their confidence too, to see it come to fruition out on the court. And then, our staff, they preach it from the top down. I think it really, really comes from our excitement of how we instill the game, how we practice, the energy we give. So it's been really good to see that trickle down effect and them just buy in.
One player that has really bought in is the freshman, Katie Scott. Number of WAC weekly honors, WAC monthly honor. What have you seen from the freshman?
She's just so composed. She doesn't play like a freshman when it comes to being frantic or out of control. Like, that's one player that really has great basketball skill, but the composure level of her, she's getting doubled and tripled in there, but she's finding a way to get it done. It's exciting to know that she's got a long career ahead of her. This is just her freshman year, and look what she's done. And I think she'd be the first to tell you that she has a ways to go, and we're working every day on making her better. And I tell Katie all the time, I'm going to nitpick you because I want to get the best out of you. Okay, coach. And so she wants to be the best version of herself, not only, for that individual kind of fulfillment, but for her teammates too. She's always the first one to kind of give her teammates some credit and give them a nod. And so it is a team game, basketball is. So she's a big piece of our team, but there's a lot of great pieces surrounding her.
Yeah, you talk about the other pieces too, and certainly in the non-conference games, your bench was pretty deep. I mean, a number of players contributed, and I'm sure that really helped buy into this brand of basketball too, to have everybody kind of contribute on the court. How do you see it kind of paring it down a little, or do you anticipate you're going to have a pretty deep bench?
Yeah, I think the brand of basketball just lends itself to getting bodies in and out, going hard, getting a quick breather, going back in. So we play a pretty intense 40 minutes. So you're going to need, especially these back-to-back games, we're going to need to go deep in the bench. So like I said before, this is a great opportunity for our players to come in and contribute because we need them to. 1 through 12 that we have, we're gonna have to go in there and play and compete hard.
If there was one thing to improve on, what would it be?
I'm always going to say defense. We have to get better. We've been good. We're forcing teams into turnovers they're not used to making, but I still want to see, especially in the half court, us lock down a little bit more and carry over some principles. There are some habits that we're still trying to break, so we want to see that improvement continually throughout the year.
Up next, who is most likely to lock their keys in the car or be asleep with their childhood stuffed animal? We introduce you to our new segment, Lope Likey.
From reimagining the way you work to reassessing what you need, you've changed the way you do business. And now, so have we. With no annual contracts and flexible internet and voice solutions, you'll have what you need to get back to business. Rethink, reconnect, reimagine. Switch to Cox Business today.
When life seems uncertain, there's one credit union that provides both dollars and cents. Copper State Credit Union. With solutions that focus on our members, you can take advantage of competitive rates, free cashback checking, and local attentive service. Uplifting our community is a standard we live by. That's why thousands of your Arizona neighbors rely on us. Strengthening Arizona families through financial empowerment. That's Copper State Credit Union.
Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
He is literally the big man on campus, towering over everyone at 7 feet. His size has helped in padding the stat book, averaging 15 points and just under 10 rebounds per game. Ashbourne Midgard has made his presence known for the Lopes. But what does he know about his teammates? Student reporter Montana Lambden runs him through the gauntlet in this new segment, Lope Likey.
I'm Montana Lambden, joined with Ash for men's basketball. We're gonna play a game of Lope Likey and get the deets. All right, so most likely on your team to say hi to everyone on Lope's Way.
On Lope's Way, that would be Gabriel for sure. He's a people guy.
He knows everyone.
Probably, yeah.
You would just say he's like celebrity?
Oh, he's the face of the basketball.
Face of the basketball team. What about you?
I got you. Not me. I'm in the shadows. I'll take the back way.
Most likely to lock their own keys in their car.
In their car? I would say probably Dima. Dima's the door. I don't know why. I just feel like that's his deal. Yeah.
Most likely to have the cleanest room.
I think Bryce. Bryce has a clean room. Well, every time I walk in there, I just complimented it the other day. So yeah, Bryce, I got you.
What about the messiest?
Oh, that's probably me. Yeah.
You?
Yeah. I'm a scatterbrain. I'm not gonna lie.
Most likely to be a stand-up comedian.
Stand-up comedian? Probably Sean Miller Moore. He's a funny guy. My roommate.
Jokes.
Oh yeah, for sure, all day.
What about you? You're pretty funny.
Nah, I don't have jokes. I can't be fun on the spot.
It just comes naturally.
I guess it does.
Most likely to be seen at GCBC.
GCBC? Probably Liam. I see him with a lot of smoothies. Yeah, a lot of smoothies, man.
Big smoothie guy.
All the smoothies. Yeah, big smoothie guy.
Most likely to still sleep with their childhood stuffed animal.
Childhood stuffed animal? Jaden Stone. I feel like he's a family guy. I can see that.
Most likely to go on a blind date that was put on by their own mom.
By their own mom?
Yeah.
Who's close? Probably Jaden Stone. Yeah, he's close with family, as I said.
Do you think his mom would set him up with someone good?
I hope so.
Hey! Chill. That's it.
Coming up, he's the personality of the team, a local product who is now making an impact on and off the court. Lopes Insider Paul Coro sits down with Gabe McGlothan.
It's time to get away. It's time to escape. It's a new day to play. Your retreat awaits at Talking Stick Resort. Indulge your appetite for excitement with our thrilling table games, our electrifying slots, our outstanding restaurants, and our exceptional accommodations. It's all waiting for you. It's a new day to play at Talking Stick Resort. Play in style.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain, with the sauce. The sauce, it gives you a little bit of... And the cheese, it's the exact right amount of... it's almost too hard to put into words. Good thing there's the honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger.
When life seems uncertain, there's one credit union that provides both dollars and cents. Copper State Credit Union. With solutions that focus on our members, you can take advantage of competitive rates, free cashback checking, and local attentive service. Uplifting our community is a standard we live by. That's why thousands of your Arizona neighbors rely on us. Strengthening Arizona families through financial empowerment. That's Copper State Credit Union.
It's time for the Talking Stick Resort Play of the Week. Play in style.
Lead pass for Gibson, and it's swatted away. Beautiful rejection by Oscar Freire, who came out of nowhere for that one.
Welcome back to Center Court with the Lopes. Coach Gabe McGlothan coming off the bench certainly was a huge presence at Tarleton in your back-to-back wins.
You know, we've been waiting for Gabe to come out and explode. He's played really well in practices. Had some really good summer, really improving his game, his outside shot. And it was really nice to see all of it come together this weekend. You know we can rebound the ball, and he's aggressive, and he did that at an extremely high level, but he also finished around the basket really well. He stepped out and made a three. And when he can come in and play those type of minutes, and when you have Asbjorn and Alessandro, it's such an advantage for us to be able to have, another big that we can throw out there, that's just as productive as starters.
Lopes Insider Paul Coro recently sat down with local standout Gabe McGlothan.
Inside, Gabe McGlothan. Down to McGlothan. Looks to move and muscle his way in. Now that's just some hard work down there.
All right, you're sort of continuing a family legacy here. Your mother worked here for a long time, still works here. Your brother played soccer here. How well did you feel like you knew GCU before you even set foot as a student here?
No, yeah, definitely. I felt like I knew it pretty well. I mean, I'd always come up to GCU and I'd visit the soccer games, watch my brother play, visit my mom's work. But one thing I did know is always changing. So no matter how much I knew at that moment, like it was constantly changing. So still stuff I didn't know.
Even though it was because you were rehabbing and everything after transferring here, was it nice for you to be a student mostly for a year and be away from the limelight of the games?
It was. It gave me a new perspective. It gave me a new sense of purpose of like what my purpose was in life. Kind of took my identity from being in basketball and like kind of, pushed me to my limits to find something else. And I mean, that's when I found my faith and God really spoke to me in that moment, and Christianity became my identity. So it was a good time away from basketball, but I mean, still was with it because of course I have to go to practice, just wasn't actually in the game.
And on that side of it, how hard was it to be away from basketball for that long for the first time in your life?
Mm-hmm. It was difficult. Definitely one of the hardest things I've had to go through, just because you're used to being out there and being able to go hard, bring some energy, like pick the team up if they need it, but your actions can't do that, and then your words can't do that because you don't want to sound like another coach, another pest on the sideline. So it's just you have to take a step back and really just kind of let it go, because you can't have too much control over it. And that was one of the things that was like I can't control anything, so it was just hard. But I mean, those struggles definitely turned into success stories at the end. I mean, just learning, and it's the main thing.
Did you ever realize that you would have that faith component match up so well with a coaching staff that emphasizes that in a program?
I honestly didn't think so at first when GCU when I first came to GCU, but I felt such an at peace thing, and that's kind of what I stuck with. It was like, there's no need for me to like even worry. Like I feel like God has perfect hands in this. And I mean, obviously he delivered. I mean, he always does. And Coach Drew and the rest of the coaching staff were there, and I mean, it's like a perfect fit, and I feel like I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And that was kind of the coolest thing, is like, even at the beginning of it, it was like, I'm so at peace with what's going on. Unsure, but I know God's got it, and I trust it.
Up next, with challenges to the schedule and keeping his players fresh, we talk with head coach Bryce Drew about what's ahead for the Lopes.
How can you describe Whataburger's honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich? The chicken just has a certain, with the sauce. The sauce, it gives you a little bit of... And the cheese, it's the exact right amount of... it's almost too hard to put into words. Good thing there's the honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich at Whataburger.
From reimagining the way you work to reassessing what you need, you've changed the way you do business. And now, so have we. With no annual contracts and flexible internet and voice solutions, you'll have what you need to get back to business. Rethink, reconnect, reimagine. Switch to Cox Business today.
Joel Embiid is unhappy.
Like, really unhappy.
Because the internet keeps using not-so-amazing GIFs to react to his amazing highlights. Mountain Dew presents the Joel Embiid Deserves Better Reactions gift collection.
Now I'm so happy.
I'm personal injury attorney James Bergener. Accidents can happen. If something happens to you or your family, call me. My firm and I will take you by the hand and guide you through everything. You see, personal injuries are just that. They're personal. You're not a number. You're more than just a name. This is your life. At my firm, each case is professionally and personally tailored to you. So if you've been injured, I've got your back. Call me now for a free consultation.
It's time to take a look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Cox Business. This weekend, the Lopes welcome in a non-conference opponent in Bethesda from California for a back-to-back slate on Friday and Saturday. Then they head to Dixie State on January 22nd and 23rd. And to cap off the month, the Lopes return to the Desert Hardwood to take on the defending conference champions, New Mexico State. A reminder that all home games can be seen on Fox 10 Extra or live streamed on the GCU YouTube page, gculopes.com, or the Lope Nation app.
Back with Center Court with the Lopes, Barry Butel alongside head coach Bryce Drew. And as you look ahead to the upcoming schedule in conference play, it's already been kind of a unique situation with COVID issues with teams and being tested as thoroughly as your team and other teams in the conference are being tested. What do you foresee here in the upcoming schedule, knowing that you've got some games now with Chicago State not being able to come in, Bethesda from California coming in?
You know, we're very fortunate to be able to get some games this weekend. You know, conference play has started across the country, so most everybody's into their league play. And so, you know, we're very, very thankful that we were able to get Bethesda to come. We're going to play them in a back-to-back, so it'll be another opportunity for us to play a back-to-back to get ready, you know, for the rest of our league play. But as we talked earlier, this is ongoing. Like, you know, there's only a handful of WAC games that are even played this weekend. And, you know, week to week, it's, you know, if you get those games, you know, you got to be excited because you just don't know when your next one could get canceled or postponed.
After these two games at Tarleton, great 2 wins to begin conference play. As you come back, as you digest the game film, what do you see from your team maybe to tune up as you continue on conference play?
You made great points. Our ball handling, especially that second game, just made some careless passes. Didn't get the ball where it needed to get to as quickly as it should have gotten there. And so, you know, that's a lot of that was, again, lack of practice time. And also, Tarleton does a really good job on defense. They really pressure. They take you out of what you want to do. Billy Gillespie's done that at Texas A&M, at Kentucky his whole career. And so I think it was different for our team playing against that type of defense. So we have a week of practice, and we'll try to really fine-tune some of that passing and catching and pivoting and try to be much better with the ball come this weekend.
Interesting. Do you anticipate maybe teams that are a little bit undersized like Tarleton, when you're going up against a 7-footer like Midgard, that you're going to see something defensively, some things maybe thrown at you that you may not be accustomed to seeing?
You know, we had prepared. You know, we didn't know if they would show maybe a box and one, you know, different type of defenses. And so the good thing is we've already seen some different looks that they've thrown at Javon, that they've thrown at some of our guys. And you know, the big thing is they just really collapsed the paint. You know, certain guys, they stayed way off and tried to put, you know, 2-3 guys around Asbjorn in the middle and Ali. And this is great because now we know we have to go back, and these guys know now where their shots are going to come from. And we'll be practicing those. So if we see that look again, you know, hopefully we'll be more prepared.
Well, Coach, have a great week. Hope to see you on Friday against Bethesda.
Thank you.
All right. My thanks to you as well for tuning in to Center Court with the Lopes.